thing. I'm excited, y'all. All right, Saskali is on Instagram as well. So glad that you're here. August, so glad that you're here. Good to see you this morning. Doris J, morning. Good to see you on the Monday Mindset Movement. I know y'all on Instagram can't hear my jams and my vibe. We're gonna work it so that you can get it. I love it. All right, we're so glad we've got something fantastic this morning. I'm excited about the message this morning because I don't know if I'm never excited, but I'm particularly excited. Maybe I'm just in a good mood this morning. I don't know. Yeah, so glad that y'all are here this morning for the Monday Mindset Movement. Can y'all tell I love this? Can y'all tell I like what I do? I hope you do too. I hope you are the type of person that even if you're not in that perfect situation, you're able to move your mind to the situation so that you can rock it and roll it. Yes, let's do it. I love the shirt. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Woo, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, we're getting ready to rock. Hey, y'all, what's up? Welcome to the Monday Mindset Movement. I'm your man, Robert Kennedy III, RK3. That's me, place to be. Yes, old school rap skills. Welcome to Monday Mindset Movement. 15 minutes or 20 minutes or so of motivation, inspiration, and elevation designed to get you rocking and rolling through your week. We are here because, yeah, some people need to pick me up. Some people need keep me going. Some people need where am I? And let's rock and roll it. Let's do all of it. I'm so glad that y'all are here. Saskali, glad that you're here. My co-hosts on the Clubhouse, Saskali and Natalie Gregg, so glad that you're here. Doris J, good to see you this morning. Good to see you, Irene. Good to see you, Abhishek. Mayors, I'm messing up your name. Rajan, good to see you. James, good to see you. Nakul, good to see you this morning. Chip, good to see you this morning. Jennifer, good to see you this morning. Johnson, good to see you. Kevin, good to see you this morning. I'm so glad that y'all are here. Do me a favor. If you want to get notified when we are going live, make sure that you go to 24055-STORY. Text go live to 24055-STORY. We're getting ready to rock this morning. So here's my question. You know I like to start out with a question. Have you ever had this thought? Like, why can't life be easy? Why can't my life be easy? Why does it seem like some people have it more easy than others? Or maybe the question that some of you are asking is, when am I gonna get a break? I need a vacation. I need a vacation. Well, we're gonna go through a little bit of that this morning. Are y'all ready to do it? If you're ready to do it, type me in the chat or in the comments so that we're ready to do this thing. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Come on, here we go, here we go. Bam. Yes, we are here and we are glad that you are here this morning. Welcome to the Monday Mindset Movement. Listen, I want to tell you before we jump in this morning, if you're a real estate agent, real estate professional, if you are a small business owner, entrepreneur, I would love to have you join me for the Monetizing and Selling with Video Storytelling 3-day challenge, March 7th through 9th, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the Monetizing and Selling with Video Storytelling video challenge starting on March 7th through 9th at 12 p.m. And you can go to videostorytellingchallenge.com to get signed up for that. All right. Go to videostorytellingchallenge.com. I'm hoping to see you. It's at lunchtime for those of you that are on the East Coast. Come on, grab a sandwich and come on through the challenge. All right. All right. Listen, we're going to jump in this morning. I got a story to tell you. Don't I always? I love storytelling. I love telling stories. So here's my story this morning. I went to the beach. I don't know if you've ever been to the beach, but I went to the beach. And my family goes to the beach regularly. And when we go to the beach, we do some different things. My wife likes to kind of just chill and hang out on the sand. And my sons, my daughter, and I, we like to go into the water and jump waves, right? And so last year, there was a particular day that we all went to the beach. And this day, it was a little bit cold this day, a little bit cold. And we went to the water and we noticed that there were some people that were standing on the outside. They were standing on the sand, just standing there. And they were it was a little bit windy and they were just like, "Ooh, I'm not going in there." And then there were some other people that kind of went in and they kind of went in maybe up to waist deep and they were standing there shivering. And then there were some kids, they were kind of jumping in and out of the water playing. Now, on this particular day, I almost always anticipate the water being a little bit cool at first, right? And so I went in with the expectation of cold water. I went in and this water was not just cold, it was ice cold. It was freezing. And so I go in and immediately, it's that type of water that you go in and immediately your teeth begin to chatter. Immediately, your jaw begins to shiver. Immediately, your heart and your blood vessels are like, dude, what the heck are you doing? It was cold. It was super cold. So I go into this water and I'm standing there. I'm about waist high and I'm standing there and it's cold. I'm kind of inching into the water because it's cold and I don't want to freeze. And I'm going into this thing and there are people around me and there are a lot of people standing there. They have their arms trying to keep themselves warm, rubbing their bodies with their arms, and they're shivering as they're trying to go into the water. It was cold. It was cold this day. And so I go in a little bit further. I'm a little bit up past my waist at this point, and I'm standing there and I'm shivering, and I'm there for about 5 minutes and still shivering. And at some point, I saw this guy to my right, and I said, "Man, does it get warmer?" And he didn't even look at me. He was in the water and he was kind of looking like he was treading a little bit. We weren't at the space where the water, we couldn't touch the ground with our feet, but he had gone down into the water and he was just kind of moving his body around. And I said, "Does it get warmer after you've been in here for a while?" He says to me, "It doesn't." Okay. He said, "It doesn't get warmer." And so I'm like, wow, he's there. He seems to be fairly calm and he is looking around, but he's telling me that this thing doesn't get warmer. Now, what am I trying to say to you, or what am I trying to share with you? Here's the lesson. Both of us are in the same situation. Both of us are in the same water. Both of us are in the same space. And yet, both of us are responding differently. Isn't that like life? There's some times that we are in the same workplace, we're in the same school, we're in the same store, we're in the same building, and we see other people. Maybe in our own household, we see other people in that space and they're going through the same thing, or they seem to have the same situation around them. They seem to be in the same circumstance, but yet they look like for them it's easy. They're handling it differently. And so the difference here, again, both of us are standing in the same water, and both of us are responding differently. The difference here is that based on my question to him, I was looking for the water to come up to my level of comfort. You see, I'm looking for the water to get warmer or to feel warmer. I'm looking for the water to come up to my level of comfort. He had already accepted that the water was going to do what it wanted to do, and so he was going to adjust no matter what the water did. Are you getting that? Somebody say, ooh, if you got that this morning. I was looking for the water to come to my level of comfort, and he already had accepted that the water was going to do what the water was going to do. And he was just going to adjust no matter what the water did. That was one difference. The second difference here was that I was in the water just a little bit above my waist, hands around me, shivering, and he had immersed himself in the water all the way up to his neck and was moving his arms and his legs. I hope y'all are getting this. I hope y'all are getting this. Listen, so if I go back to this beach story, there were three types of people. There were, number one, those who said, I heard it's cold and I'm not going in. Right? Those are the people that stand on the outskirts. Those are the people that you call the haters, right? They'll stand on the outside and they'll listen for what somebody else says. They'll listen for somebody else who's complaining. They'll listen for the bad stuff. They only seem to hear the negative stuff. They don't hear the positive stuff. They hear the negative stuff, and they take on that negative stuff, and they stand on the outside and they never step into the water. All right, so that's one type of person. Those who said, I heard it's cold and I'm not going in. The next type of person was the second type of person is those who went in and spent most of the time complaining that it was cold. You're standing there in the water, knees knocking, teeth chattering, complaining, and yet you're standing in the water. So you're at this place where you've gone for some enjoyment. You've gone to this place for some pleasure. You've gone to this place for a little bit of a getaway from your norm, and you're standing in it and complaining. That's the second type of person. And to be honest, I was that type of person on that day. The third type of person was the person who went in up to their necks and embraced the cold. It was that man. It was some of the kids that were just jumping in, diving back and forth, running in and out, laughing, playing with each other. There were those three types of people. So he was in the water, calm, enjoying himself, despite what seemed to be challenging. Right? So we've gone through this process, or we've come to this place where we try to get away, or we try to enjoy, or we try to gain pleasure. And a lot of us miss that pleasure. A lot of us miss the enjoyment. A lot of us miss the fullness of the contentment. A lot of us miss life because we spend too much of it looking for the easy button. Instead of being all in and moving no matter what, instead of being all in and moving our arms and moving towards no matter what the water is doing, we miss life because we're looking for life to come up to our level of comfort. If that hits you, say ouch. Right? If that hits you, type ouch in the chat. Some of you said you liked my shirt. You're kind of looking at my shirt. It's Black History Month. It's Black History Month. And one of the things that I used to wonder when I was a little bit younger, I used to, as I heard about some of the different things that the slaves and the abolitionists and those that lived in that period of time or that period of history went through, I used to wonder how they lived knowing that each day was going to be painful and a fight. I wondered how they lived knowing that each day they might be whipped. I wondered how they lived knowing that each day somebody might try to take their life. I wondered how they lived knowing that each day was not going to be a comfortable day. Here's the thing. Some came to accept pain as their comfort. Some came to accept pain as their normal, their reality. And some, while they stood in the pain, while they stood in the whipping, while they stood in the cold water, shivering, simply stayed and complained about it. Now, yes, there's an emotional, mental aspect, psychological aspect to this. Yeah, when people are beat down and oppressed, there's a level that they can be pushed to, which causes them not to be strong or react. And that's the goal of the oppressor. And yet there were some that didn't expect the problem to come to them. They didn't expect the problem to be fixed and appear on their doorstep. There were the Harriet Tubmans. There were the Sojourner Truths. There were the Malcolm X's. There were the Martin Luther Kings. There were the Marcus Garveys. There were the Garrett Morgans. There were the I forgot the lady's name that I mentioned last week. There were a lot of people who expected the problem and yet decided that they were going to keep moving with the hope of shining a light on the problem. The Frederick Douglasses who spoke out and wrote and did things in spite of what might come to them. They decided that they were going to keep moving in spite of the problem. They were going to keep moving with the hope of shining a light on the problem. And maybe the problem would be fixed in their lifetime. Maybe it wouldn't. But their expectation wasn't that the problem came to them fixed. Life is funny. A lot of us look for the easy button in life, but life, there's not really this easy button. And we want this straight line, right? As a matter of fact, let me demonstrate this a little bit. I'm just gonna get my art button or my art stick out here, right? So a lot of us want this straight line. Oops, I need to hit my pen actually. A lot of us want this straight line for life, right? But life isn't like that. Life is like this. Life is a series of mountains. Life is a series of mountains, and in between those mountains are our valleys. Those mountains are the achievements. Those mountains are the good times. Those mountains are the moments of accomplishment. Here's the thing about those mountains, right? And I'm going to erase this. Here's the thing about those mountains. Those mountains in life are proportional to something. Life is a series of mountains and valleys, and the height of your mountain is proportional to the level of your growth. I want you to get that. The height of your mountain is going to be proportional to the level of your growth. Here's what I mean. Most of us, we experience a mountain, we complain, there's a valley. So the next mountain is just about the same height. We complain, there's a valley. Next mountain is just about the same height. We complain, there's a valley, right? And so the mountain, the challenge that we experience continues to be the same. It continues to be the same height. It continues to be about the same level of stress. It continues to be about the same level of pain because that's where we've pushed to. But when we decide that we're going to embrace growth, we achieve something, there's a valley, and then we push, and then the next one becomes a little bit more challenging because we're stronger now, and we can handle more. And then the next one is a little bit higher, and we've got a valley, and then the next one is a little bit higher. And life keeps going like that. It's a series of mountains and valleys, and it's simply up to you to recognize those moments of enjoyment, those moments of accomplishment, those moments of achievement, because as sure as you can be, there's going to be a valley. That's how life works, right? We can't escape it. There's nobody who's never experienced the valley in life. Nobody. This is how life works. My dad, Robert Kennedy II, wrote this book called Life Maps, and he talks about some of the different stages in growth. And he says that first there's dream. Everybody has a dream. Everybody dreams. Some of our dreams are snuffed out because we don't give space to them, or we listen to those who squish or compress or oppress our dreams. Right? So there's dreaming, and then there is discovery. That's the second stage of growth that he talks about. There's discovery, where you begin to discover who you are and what you can do and what you're passionate about, and how the gifts and the skills and the abilities that you have are connected to that dream that you've got. So stage 1, dreaming. Stage 2, discovery. Stage 3, decision. That's the day that you decide that you're going to chase that dream. That's the day that you decide you're going to do something about that dream. That's the day that you just make that decision that you're going to no longer be average. You're no longer going to be complacent or status quo. You decide that you're going to go after that thing that you're equipped for. And then the next stage is determination, right? You're determined. Nothing's going to deter you. Nothing's going to, even failure is not going to cause you to stop. Dreaming, discovery, decision, and determination. 4 stages. And all of us who accomplish anything go through those stages. And it's not just one time that we go through them. We continually go through them because we have these mountains and valleys, as we talked about. And every time that we're in the valley, we see something new. We see a higher plane. We see something different that we can go after, or we see something bigger that we can go after. And so we discover who we are. We discover how we've grown. We discovered how the new pieces of equipment or the new resources that we have. And we decide that we're going to go after it with that, right? And then we make after we make that decision, we become determined and we begin to climb. We begin to use our grappling hooks. We begin to use our rappelling equipment. We begin to use our ropes. We begin to use our spikes. We begin to use all the stuff that we've got to climb higher. And we continue to grow. I hope this has blessed you this week. I hope that this has been something that has made a difference for you this week. Thank you, Lachelle. Thank you, Lens Photos. So here's how I want to leave you this week. I want to have you take on some actions here. I want you to embrace the peaks and the valleys, embrace the mountains and the low places, and decide that you're going to leverage them for growth. You might feel like you're having a bad time this week, or this week isn't going according to plan. Leverage that, because you know that your next stage is a mountain. Your next stage is a place of growth. Your next stage is upward. So if I lean into the book that my dad has shared and turn those into actions, I want to have you allow yourself to dream. 4 things I want you to do. Allow yourself to dream. And as a matter of fact, don't just allow yourself to dream. Schedule time to dream. Schedule time on your calendar to ideate and to capture those ideas. It's hard to know where to go if you don't know what you're going to do. It's hard to know where you're headed if you haven't dreamed about it, or you haven't created the ideas in your mind. So allow yourself to dream. Schedule time for yourself to dream, and then capture it. Write it down. Number 2, allow yourself to discover. Take on challenging activities that allow you to discover what you're capable of. This is why exercise is important. This is why working out is important. This is why it's important to read something that's challenging. This is why it's important to take on an activity That is not easy. Take on challenging activities to continually discover what you are capable of. Number 3, make a decision. Make a decision. If there's something that you've been waffling on, if there's something that you've been uncertain about, if there's something that you're like, think I need to do it, but you're not sure that you're going to do it, put a date on your calendar that's going to be your all-in date. That's your date that you're like, you know what? No matter what, this date, I'm doing this. Make a decision. Tell somebody else about that decision so that they can hold you accountable, right? And number 4, determine that you will set yourself up so that failure is not a possibility. How do you determine that? How do you operate with determination? You set things around you, you set things in place so that if you start to falter, if you start to fall a little bit, that you've got fallbacks, you've got recovery options, you've got people, you've got community that helps push you forward to that goal. Right? So allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to discover, make a decision, and decide that you're going to be determined. That's it. That's it. That's what we got. Monday. Today is Monday. My goodness. We want to shift your mindset to a place of growth, y'all. But it doesn't just start and stop on Monday. We want to encourage you to take your Monday mindset into tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the day after that and the next day. Hey, y'all, do me a favor. Make a choice. Make a decision. Move. Start a movement. Be a movement. Join me next week, Monday at 8 a.m. on Clubhouse, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn for the next Monday Mindset Movement. Peace. I will see y'all on the next show. All right, y'all.